Everything should be fine. There you go. Let's do it. Good evening, everybody. It is the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. I'm your host, B.A., along with Bo Crouch from Football with Bo, and, of course, James Martin, who is also a contributor to this podcast network. Now that he has his own show, well, shares it with me, but he is the guy. And Keith Engel of TGI Sports. Hope everybody is having a very good evening. Unfortunately, we do have some sad news to pass on this evening. Legendary coach Lou Holtz passes as 89. Just to give you a little bit of breakdown about Lou Holtz, he restored Notre Dame, won the 1988 national title. He finished 249, 132, and 7. Began at William and Mary. Had stops at NC State, Arkansas, Minnesota prior to Notre Dame. Was also the coach of the New York Jets.
Sort of.
Yeah, for 10 months. He was 3-10. He said God told Lou Holtz he wasn't an NFL head coach, so he got away from that one real quick. And that was in 1976, by the way. Lou Holtz also brought to Notre Dame the legendary Play Like Champions Today sign at the bottom of the stairs inside the Irish locker room, as well as a team not wearing the name in the back of their jerseys. Holtz is the only coach to lead 6 different teams to bowl games.
I Lou Holtz, one of my favorite coaches of all time. You know, and he turned every program around he touched. As you said, he went to the bowl games with 6 different teams. Not all of them, teams you would think about football mastery, if you will. But I think all you really need to know about how great a coach Lou Holtz was, Notre Dame hadn't won for 11 years. They haven't won national championship before he got there. And they haven't won one in 38 years since he left. Well, since they won the last one, not since he left, but since they won the last one. And he had them in contention for others after 1988. Tremendous coach. I think he knew that the whole Jet thing was a mistake. So if you think God doesn't have a sense of humor, he told Lou Holtz to go coach the Jets. So, but just a tremendous coach, great motivational speaker after or during his coaching career and after. And it's funny too. I didn't remember this until I was looking at his bio a little bit this afternoon. To tell you how much the game has changed, Lou Holtz played linebacker at Kent State. Lou Holtz is like 5'8", 125 pounds. So, that's an interesting little tidbit about Lou Holtz's playing career. So great coach. Seems to be a wonderful person. Never met him in person, but, we don't see the likes of Lou Holtz, I don't think, anymore in coaching. Not for me.
Yeah. Being a Michigan fan, obviously, I never liked Notre Dame when Lou Holtz was coaching Notre Dame because they would be giving Michigan the business, and I used to hate that. But at the same time, you got to also remember when he went to NC State in the early 2000s. They were terrible.
Yep,
they were really terrible, and he turned that program around too. They were like 1-11 before he got there. He didn't have a very good first year, and then he turned the program around. I think they were like 8-4 and 9-3 the next couple of years. So he did a fantastic job with that in his later years. So, I mean, the dude was like magic. I mean, to go to bowl games and 6 different teams, that's an awesome feat.
South Carolina too. No wins his first year there. No wins.
Yep.
So just a great job to turn that program around. I mean, they weren't national championship contenders, but
what I meant.
Really good. Well, North Carolina State still fits too. I mean, they were still nowhere on the map when he took over there, and I think that's where he went to the Jets from was North Carolina State. If I'm not mistaken.
See, and that's how you know that the Jets are the ultimate dumpster fire. The mastery of Lou Holtz couldn't turn that one around.
Well,
where's Jack when you
was
need him?
Tim Brown under his watch?
Tim Brown was under his watch, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and Heisman. I mean, he had a couple of Heisman Trophy winners, Rocket Ismail, Tim Brown, and of course the great Jerome Bettis played under him as well. Man, I was a huge fan at that time, especially Jerome Bettis. That was like maybe 90, 91, I think, when they were like Jerome had like 200 plus yards or something like that running. I was like, who is this big guy rumbling like that? And I like Lou Holtz. And I mean, one thing you're gonna remember about him is that little lisp he had when he talked. Man, he seemed like this, really nice old guy that was walking up and down the field. I mean, like you said, a linebacker. Like that guy was a linebacker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's funny, you watch him on the sideline grabbing these, 6'5", 300-pound guys by the face mask and jerking them around. They would just pick up their heads and they'd move them around, for crying out loud. But he was a great motivational coach. Some great players you just mentioned too, James. Because they had a lot of great teams. It wasn't just that national championship. That's the only one that won, but he had some other really close,
really good teams. Yeah. Yeah, he in a couple of the bowl games, I think. He beat Ohio State a couple of times in the bowl games too. Yeah,
once Arkansas might have been Oklahoma. Now that I think about it, in the Orange Bowl, that's when that game really counted. I think that game got him the Notre Dame job, quite frankly. He had some really good teams at Arkansas too. I mean, at least one of those teams finished in the top 5. And Arkansas wasn't doing that at that time. They were really good in the 60s, but they weren't good before Lou Holtz got there for a while. None of these teams were good before Lou Holtz got there. Notre Dame was like irrelevant after the Jerry Faust fiasco. Who, by the way, Jerry Faust totally miscast, not his fault. There's a tremendous person who really took it on the chin and just never belonged at Notre Dame. And Lou Holtz did a great job of turning that program around pretty quickly.
Yeah, so shout out to his family, prayers out there to his family and everybody that's affected by Lou Holtz. One of the greatest Hall of Fame coaches right there. That's
Yeah, rest in peace, Lou Holtz.
Rest in peace, yeah. You much deserved. Must deserve that place. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go from the somber to the hilarious, actually. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs is to be released from the Patriots. We already have a comment from Rick saying Diggs wears out his welcome again and added the Vikings' greatest plays in Minnesota Miracle, not worth the headaches.
The only headache is the fact that he's seeing a trial for something he may or may not have done. So we don't know what that outcome will be, and that's not really the factor why they release him. It's money. It's the fact that they've got Booty, who plays basically the same position and has really stepped up, and they want the money to go after Alex Pierce, because they really are all in on Alex Pierce right now.
I did hear in some certain circles that the Patriots are also interested in DJ Moore too.
DJ Moore, Mike Evans, they're all on the list, but Pierce, I think, is the guy they really, really want. And this is Stephon Diggs. He had a classy little comment this afternoon about his time there, but James said it in a text in our group chat that, time is catching up with him. He had a decent regular season, but he disappeared during the playoffs. Sorry. I mean, he averaged about, 30 yards a game, 35 yards a game, whatever. And it just that isn't what they're going to need going forward. And guys like Booty and Kyle Williams and Hollins, these guys have all stepped up. They're not number one guys. They got to get another guy in there. But this wasn't a locker room issue like it may have become. Listen, I'm not going to say the Patriots didn't get out in front of a locker room problem because that's the history. But that is not at least the reason they let him go of problems within the locker room. outside the locker room, he's like every other NFL player.
Do you think if they release him, do you think he's gonna? Is he gonna play for somebody else?
I'm sorry, allegedly.
Do you think he's gonna get picked up even with his court allegations going on?
I do. Well, it might depend on what happens, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it'll depend on what happens after April. I don't think he gets picked up prior to that. If he gets picked up, it'll be after the draft.
Yeah, I agree. I'd watch the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a team I keep an eye on with Stephon Diggs. They feel like a great spot for him.
Pags. What's up, Pags?
What's going on, man?
I just wanted to leave him for you. That's all.
Speaking of the Chiefs, they had a trade today with Trent McDuffie to the Rams for 4 draft picks, 1 for next year, 3 for this year. I think that works out well for the Rams. They need corners. I think that was one of their weakest points on their team on defense was the corner play. They got the front. So they got the front 7.
My question is I don't know who's the GM for the Rams, because they're like the riverboat gambler. They like to put their first round picks on the table, with the rest of the dice and everything. And they never shoot snake eyes. They seem to really get the guys that they want, and it works out. And that makes sense to me because right now they traded with the Falcons, and they got the Falcons number 13th overall pick. And they gave away their own 29th, which is really like a high second, or it's really not worth anything unless you strike it rich with somebody that you can find. But with that being said, like you said, that defensive line is great. They got all those young players on the defensive line. They just need somebody to shut down that side. And Trent McDuffie is that. He's a first team All-Pro in 23, second team All-Pro in 24. He's played in a total of 56 games, and he's had roughly 34 pass defense, 5.5 sacks, 246 tackles, 3 interceptions. So he's kind of like a shutdown guy, and he's 25. So you just paid you didn't just pay that first rounder. I mean, you gave him a fifth and a sixth and a third for next year. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to help them out. And the biggest thing is they're going to pay him money, because right now he's on a 5th-year option. And so we're looking at probably like 29, 30 million a year. So that's where they're going to end up paying somewhere. But you got to pay anybody that you want to keep this marquee.
And the Chiefs have to make this trade because of money. I don't know any other reason they would make this trade. He's a great player, as you said, and fits that defense perfectly. So it's a little surprising. They get a first-round draft pick, but they're not getting a player of the caliber of McDuffie with that pick.
And this is where I have to slightly disagree. I think either not in the free agency, but maybe in the draft with Mansour Delane. Mansour Delane is not gonna be in the top 10. So they're right there at 9. So they can pretty much be banking that he might be right there at that draft, and he's the number 1 corner in the draft.
Fair.
So yeah, so that's probably what they're maybe banking on, and they're probably going to get a veteran guy to come in, but they're probably banking that they can get him, because there've been mock drafts that have shown that Jeremiah Love to them or some tackle like the one from Miami might be there, but they truly, if they're willing to let that marquee of a player go like that and collect a haul, I think they're trying to, and maybe they may collect some of their draft picks and move up. They may decide to move up and grab somebody. So.
It's funny because the way I look at this is there was a lot of people that were, mocking Love to them, right? But they just freed up the cap space that if they wanted Walker, they could go get Walker. They could draft the corner at 9, and then at 29, fix that offensive line.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And you're not out any money, and you just plugged 3 holes that you had.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, Rams are definitely the kings of F them picks.
Hey, you know what though? The difference for them is they gamble on it and they win.
Yes.
They win. Yes,
They
absolutely.
push it all to the middle and it works. And the thing is, I mean, the biggest issue they had was secondary, and grabbing McDuffie is huge. So, I mean,
huge.
we're already,
really.
It was Seattle and LA favored to go back to the Super Bowl. I would say that actually helps the Rams move a little bit ahead. They are probably going to be the favorite in the NFC just with that move.
And they do actually win. They do win more often than they don't, because I took a quick look because I couldn't remember the GM's name either. It's Les Snead. He's been there since 2012. That's an eternity in the NFL. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
which is kind of hilarious.
He doesn't have Mickey Loomis beat though. Mickey Loomis has been with the Saints since like 2003. And mind you, I will send a shout out to Mickey Loomis. He got the best NFL draft in 2025, and he as well he had in 2017 with that draft haul. So I mean, but mind you, he's had some duds in between those.
That guy's as old as Jack Hirsch. He should be retiring.
And the thing about it too, it's funny kind of looking at that franchise and the Lions, because Brad Holmes came from the Rams, and he does everything totally the opposite of what the Rams are doing. He doesn't do the F them picks. He says, "Give me them picks. I want them picks." So again, it works to a certain degree. I don't want to get into that right now because it's just going to pee me off. But
you know what? If you make the right moves, same way in baseball, trading prospects, I never have a problem with it because they're called prospects for a reason. There's no sure things with draft picks or prospects. If you got a sure thing, you got to make sure that you win the trade, right? But I'll trade draft picks for a guy of that talent at that age every time.
And the Rams are working on to extend Stafford, by the way. So that's also in the mix. Stafford is never. I'm sorry. He might get older. Pags might have that point to him, but at the same time, it seems like he plays at the top of his game the older he gets. It's amazing some of the stuff I see him do.
He might want to start hanging out with Tom Brady if he wants to keep playing a lot longer, though.
There you go.
Learn
some of that avocado ice cream. Stay
away from coffee and whatever else Tom's never eaten.
Yeah, stay away from anything that you remotely makes you happy.
Yes.
Like kids.
Probably wants to keep his wife away from any jiu-jitsu instructors. But
do not let your wife
or second string Georgia quarterbacks. Anyway,
we did learn something about that from Tom Brady. Yes. No.
Oh my goodness.
No jiu-jitsu. I can't even say the word anymore. Jiu-jitsu lessons for your wives. Never. Let that be a lesson to everybody.
So your favorite player is back in the news again. Aaron Rodgers has no deadline and potential return to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh stays and just sits there and waits for him to come back. Shame on them. You got to stop playing these games with Aaron Rodgers. Okay? Stop doing that.
So do you think it's that, or do you think they are low-key embracing the suck, that they're going to have a bad year and they're ready to draft a quarterback next year?
Well, it definitely has to be next year because there's not much to choose from in the pool this year. So, and that's why they're probably going to wait. Like you said, they're most definitely going to wait on Aaron Rodgers because I can't see anybody better unless they want to, take Kyler Murray, a shot at Kyler Murray in his video games. I don't know. I just think you're probably going to wait on Aaron Rodgers and see how that goes.
I think you wait for Rodgers, and then when he says no, you just go with Mason Rudolph, enjoy the fact that you're going to be a 7-win team, and draft one of the quarterbacks from next year where it's going to be a little bit better draft.
I mean, well, you guys are just throwing out Will Howard, huh?
Yeah.
Will Howard could play.
I mean,
if it
started today with the way the roster is, Mason's still your starter.
Yeah. I wouldn't give him 7 wins, by the way. If I'm trying to tank the season, 7 wins isn't where I want to be.
Yeah, but you're in a division that nobody wants to win right now.
No, so you're going to win some games by mistake, I guess, right?
Yeah, like the Bengals exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's true.
And speaking of good segue there, James, with releasing Kyler Murray, they did do that. Getting ready to do that if they haven't done it already. Yeah, where do you think he ends up?
Sorry, Rick. They're like Minnesota.
Call of Duty video game, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, his market's going to be very small.
Minnesota, Miami.
The Jets might.
I don't think the Jets, similar to Pittsburgh, I don't think the Jets want to win that many games this year, right? So you're not going to bring a quarterback in that's going to let you win 8 or 9 games, I don't think. And Kyler Murray's got some talent.
He's got some talent.
Exactly.
The team doesn't, though.
Focuses.
Like, they could use his ability to scramble behind that offensive line. So that's why I think the Jets. I don't think the Vikings are an actual player for Kyler. I think they want a guy that fits in O'Connell's system, which is a Cousins or a Rodgers, or if Carr decides to, if they want to kick the tires on that. But his style works better with that kind of quarterback, whereas Kyler is better off schedule, which makes their coach mad.
But the thing is, if he was with the Jets, I think he'd give them a better opportunity because he won't hold the ball as long as the way Justin Fields did, and I think he can better read a defense than Justin Fields as well.
I don't think they just do it unless they think he's a potential long-term answer, which he might be. I mean, look at guys are going and getting rehabilitated all over the place. So,
I mean, the best thing about Kyler is you get him the same way you got Russ. Is you get to pay him a league minimum, and Arizona is going to pay him to play for you.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you had a cap straddled team that, you felt like he elevated, yeah, I could see that. So, I mean, that's where the Vikings kind of make sense. It's just the team doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but so win now team, right? If they don't think Kyler Murray's going to help win now, they're not taking him.
Exactly.
To me, the Jets is a really good option because they're going to keep the running back Breece Hall.
Yep. So
you have a really good running game there. You have a decent offensive line, and you got some decent weapons to throw to. I mean, Garrett Wilson is no slouch, and you have the tight end that's there as well in Taylor, Zach Taylor. Is it Zach Taylor? I think that's his name. I forgot. What's his name? Taylor's son that used to play for Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, I would think that he'd have some good options there. And then, of course, if he's playing for another team, I think he might be motivated to be better than what it was in Arizona. So I think that might be a good option there. Mason. Thank you, Mason Taylor. I'm not sure that the Vikings. I agree with you guys. I don't think the Vikings will be a good option for him. It's just a different style of offense, and the way Kyler plays will be a little bit different. With
got a quarterback whisperer there. Turned around one of the. He turned around a guy who nobody thought could win anywhere. So.
Well, Sam
Darnold's not a runner either, though. Sam Darnold's more of a pocket passer. It's a whole different thing with Kyler Murray. As far as the Jets are concerned, I heard that Tua, if the Miami does something with Tua, he's in the mix for that position there in New York.
Are they just trying to end his career? Is that what we're doing?
Pretty much.
And to be fair to Keith, if he did go to the Vikings, I mean, they have a similar style quarterback there already in McCarthy. But that's not really working.
To me, that's the most interesting quarterback situation of all because it's the only team that I can see that is a win now looking for a quarterback is Minnesota Vikings. And this is an important decision, obviously. And to me, it's either Murray, Cousins, or Rodgers for Rick. Rick's going to die if it's Murray or Rodgers because he hates both of them. So it's going to be very interesting for Mike Boyd.
It's just it is a win now team, right? I mean, you saw what Darnold was able to do with them. The rest of the roster is ready to go. It's a good defense, a solid offensive line. They have weapons. So, I mean, I agree. They're a quarterback away from not being a Super Bowl contender, mind you, but being a playoff team. Right. And the problem is Kyler doesn't give you that. right? Like, is he an upgrade from JJ? Sure, because he'll probably at least stay healthy, which is something JJ hasn't been able to do. But because he doesn't run the offense the way that O'Connell likes his offense run, I think there would be a lot of frustration on that team.
Part of it because he's 5'10" and can't see over the line.
Well,
The Cardinals, man, like that's another one where, you just get the stretcher out. It's a wrap. Like that, like the Cardinals are full on just understanding they're doing nothing this year, right? You got LaFleur as a coach. You go get Hackett because I guess you needed a body, and then you get rid of your quarterback. I mean, they're just dumping all the pieces, so they're in full on rebuild mode.
And Keith, you have a question up here for you.
Do I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are we boring you?
Maybe he's having one of them senior moments.
I wasn't trying to the question, but I can't because after my show, I have my granddaughter's here, and we're gonna have to take her home about that time. Sorry.
Oh. Hey, that's a good excuse.
And I know I'm second picking Sabo, so just and God knows how many other people she contacted in the meantime. I'm only kidding, Sonia.
That's why you can't do it in the group chat.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. If I could do it, I would.
He said, I'm no scrub for nobody.
I know that's right. Dak and Lamb reworked deals, creating $47 million cap space for the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones has come out and said he's going to be aggressive in free agency. We'll wait to see that one happen.
They're all in. What do you mean?
They're all in. They're all in like a couple of years ago, weren't they?
Aggressive means different things to different people, apparently. So.
Yeah, I saw that meme, Rick. Yeah, I saw that meme. Yeah.
Oh,
that's Keith. I just
listen, I didn't take my ADD medicine today. That's my problem, and I got too many stimuli around me.
Squirrel.
I will try to see what I can do, hon. I
see the pecking order there. We are at the bottom of the totem pole.
That's what I see.
We're on an unprofessional professional sports show. That's why.
We are the scrub of scrubs.
I feel better about myself already. Let me tell you.
Yes, you should.
So it looks like that the Indianapolis Colts put the transition tag on Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
But it's a transition one, so it's not the full on. If someone comes in and tries to negotiate and they have the rights to try to, match the offer. But if they think it's too much, they just let them go.
We like you, but
Well, so it saves them $6 million. He's gonna start the year on IR, right? So some of that makes sense. And then at the same time, the formula that he's successful with. Right. So the only people that are going to come talking to him are the ones that have a good offensive line and a solid running back, because the 2 years that he's been good, he had a fantastic running back and a line that kept him upright. So when you're a GM around the league, there's only a handful of teams that need a quarterback that have those things. Right. So this feels like a safe bet. Like somebody's going to come and negotiate for a guy that's not going to be healthy week one. And then, I think there's a good chance they just saved themselves $6 million and they still end up with Daniel Jones.
And I agree with you. I don't think that no one's going to come checking for Daniel Jones. Not with him trying to repair. Come back from
Minnesota may.
Repair.
Minnesota may.
Yeah, I'm saying the Achilles thing. I think is the biggest thing. I think it's just it's like even $37 million is a lot of money. To say,
years. Nobody's going to give him years guaranteed with this injury, right? You might give him a 1-year contract, but he's already got that now. So the Colts will match whatever I would think if somebody goes more years.
Well, and you've seen, and this is why Minnesota won't, is you've seen the timeline for a guy that tears his Achilles. Even when he gets back, that first year, he's not good, right? Cousins wasn't good. Rodgers wasn't good. Like you've seen that the year they come back, it's not great, right? So if he's going to miss the first part, so if he's going to miss the first part of the year, and then you're not going to be that good, you're not going to go spend $40 million on that guy. You're going to let JJ McCarthy figure it out or go get a different veteran.
And your quarterback room is already gimpy. Adding Cousins or Jones would be even more gimpy. I mean, you just got this quarterback room with everybody holding each other up. So, because one guy's Achilles messed up, the other one's hamstrings jacked up, and it's just not healthy.
I wrote 2008, and I'm still not the same. I can tell you right now. So they better be careful. Of course, I was 40 years old.
I would say that. I mean,
so was Cousins.
Yeah. That's true. Even the Elf gets injured too much too. To me, I'm not. Yes. That's nothing that's steady either. Tua is another guy. Obviously, he gets concussed because he doesn't know how to run right.
I don't know. The Keebler Elf is bringing cookies. I might want to have him come in.
Are the ones that are nobody that's letting get away. Really, San Francisco and their situation with their backup quarterback, and they want to let him go. I don't know if that's just the case because they think that he plays better than Purdy. I don't know. But
if I'm the Vikings, the only guy I'm really looking at is Cousins because he already has chemistry with your team.
Yep.
You can get him for nothing. He's familiar with the program. He's familiar
but he's old and gimpy.
You better protect him, that's for sure.
That's the thing is he's not going to be coming from a spot that just forgets they have stars on the roster, right? I mean, that was the biggest thing with Atlanta is they couldn't protect him, and then they would just not use the running game randomly. You're just like, oh, cool, we have Bijan. That's like, hey, you know what? We got this Ferrari in the garage, but you know what we're not going to do is buy fuel. So you can look at it, you can shine it up, but you can't drive it. So yeah, it's he'll be way better off with the Vikings. Do I think he's an elite talent or anything like that? No, but I never did. But what he is consistent, and outside of this injury, he has been healthy throughout his career. So you only need him to be good for a year. Or maybe two, and then you're starting to lose a bunch of this roster anyway.
Yeah.
So did the Vikings let go Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones, yes, they did.
Yeah. So what's the deal? I mean, I know Jordan Mason is probably their guy, I guess.
I also heard they were going to try to re-sign Aaron Jones, but I don't know whether. Again, that's always a crapshoot. So.
Yeah, Jordan Mason basically took over that role last season when they had him.
He's a pretty good running back.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, well, and there's a couple of solid running backs that'll be mid to late second round. So I mean, like they could go get somebody too.
And as we stated before, tag placed on Breece Hall, so he's there to stay. I've been noticing this about the running backs of this season. There was no tag placed on Kenneth Walker. Which is the Lions. The Lions, in my opinion, the idiots that they are sometimes. They traded Montgomery away to Houston for some draft picks and an offensive center that was 31 out of 32 that in the league. In Houston, I don't know what their deal is either because it looks like they were trying to get rid of their starting offensive linemen. They did the same thing like last year. I don't know what's going on. They just don't like their offensive linemen or something. They don't want C.J. Stroud to be, Well,
they weren't very good the end of last year anyway, or a lot of last year. Certainly in the playoffs against the Patriots, they were awful. So
yeah, they were awful pretty much the whole year.
The defense is why the Texans were good.
Exactly.
The running backs, so it's just, the league just still does not value running backs. They feel like they're the most replaceable skill position player out there, and that's why you don't see him getting franchised. You don't see him, except for a handful of guys, getting the long-term guaranteed contracts, and that's probably going to continue.
Walker's absolutely leaving Seattle.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he'll be in Kansas City. I like your scenario.
People don't seem to get the idea of empathy. If you were in Walker's shoes, what would you do if you know that they're going to pay everybody else on that team and the least valued position would be the running back. And you have an opportunity to go to somewhere else, some other team. You got your ring already.
Exactly.
And you can make the most money. And this is your last likely time to make your peak money.
Yep.
So, I mean, as a running back, I'm definitely leaving.
Yeah.
I got the ring. And this is the opportunity. Somebody's going to pay you, because they said the value is at 9, but they said likely he's, for all intents and purposes, he's probably going to make 14 to 15 million a year for some team.
Yeah, like
so I'm definitely taking that.
He'll make north of 10, and he won't touch that in Seattle. And Seattle doesn't pay running backs. They just don't do it. They drafted Walker in the second round. They drafted Charbonnet the next year in the second round. And like I said a couple of seconds ago, there's a couple of guys in this draft that are solid second round guys.
Jadarian Price, the other running back for Notre Dame, is an incredible running back.
Well, and there's also one out of Penn State and one out of UW right here. And those guys are all going to be mid to late second round guys.
Maybe Mike Washington, too, the guy that ran that 6'1", 223, ran a 4.33 out of Arkansas. Incredible.
There's a guy.
And he actually, when you see the game tape, he played that speed, too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, and my man was in tears. When I see somebody crying after they're 40, that's a guy I want to look into drafting.
So, yeah, I mean, for Seattle, not going to happen. They're not going to sign Walker. They're not going to sign Charbonnet next year.
And they also they just came out and said Shaheed's going to likely test the free agent market as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
He was a hired gun. And we thank you, Seattle, for those draft picks. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, it got us a ring, so we're not mad at it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure that's the same thing the Rams told the Lions to.
It absolutely is, right? I mean, you're talking about a guy that completely changed the special teams. Like, he was a non-factor on offense, right? Like, I think he caught for like 188 yards for the year. Like, he was not an impactful player on our offense, but special teams was absolutely unbelievable. I expect him to go to the Raiders because that's where the rest of his coaching staff went. But at the same time, there's people talking about him as a receiver where he could be making it up to about 15 mil a year. Seattle's not going to get anywhere near that. Like, they may have offered him 5 or 6, but they wouldn't be going to 15. So Shaheed definitely won't be here. I will not be surprised if he's a Raider.
So I'm going to say go out and say this about Shaheed. He had a lot of pros, which is he can take the top of a defense, he can run returns, but and he can do like reverses and jet sweeps and different things like that. But his route tree is very limited, and he's not a guy that can catch 50-50 balls. If somebody just bumps him a little bit, that ball is coming right out of his hand. So those are the downs, and he's injury prone as well.
He is literally this era's Percy Harvin.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the exact same dude, just without the attitude problem.
Yeah, but
you need him. You need him on a team like you guys. If he goes to a garbage team, it's not going to be. He's not the number one guy. He's not that number one guy. He needs to be, like you said, like a Percy Harvin.
He's not that kind of a receiver.
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. He's good as a utility, bag of tricks type of guy. He's a gadget guy.
And he's phenomenal at that. So if you have a team that is an X factor away, he can provide that. But yeah, if you need him to be your every play wide receiver too, you probably aren't a great team. And that's not a dig at him. It's just his skill set is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, he's more of the wide receiver 3 type slot guy.
Yeah.
The Vikings are at it again. They're cutting Jonathan Allen, 2-time Pro Bowler, defensive tackle. They just got rid of Hargrove. So I don't know what Minnesota's doing. What's Minnesota doing over there, Rick? What are they
Rick
doing?
said you're killing them. You're still killing them. The hits just keep on hitting, Rick.
So Sonia really wants you to put up the Walker comment.
Which one? Oh, the Walker to Carolina. I did put that up.
Yeah, I saw it too.
It was up. Yeah.
Oh, maybe she wants the overrated one then.
Well, she wants it to be. I guess maybe she wants it to be. She wants to magically make it appear that it was going to happen. Walker's not going to Carolina, Sonia. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
He's got to stop. He's got a couple of stops before he gets to Carolina. He's probably going to stop in New Orleans or somewhere
Kansas
before
City.
Yeah, I'm going
Kansas
KC.
City.
KC probably makes the most sense because they can afford him. They're going to need
And they're probably not going to get Love at number 9.
Well, no,
'Cause
because
Love-
if they get Walker, they don't have to, right? Because then they can get their corner and their offensive lineman all in the first round. Then all of a sudden, the Saints could get Love, and that fixes your Kamara problem.
I don't think Love's going to fall to 8 though. I think he's going to be. I think that's something I thought we might go over some of the draft after the combine, the projections in the top 5. Love might be in the top 5 here because I don't see any generational talent on this draft, and I don't see anybody outside of Mendoza that's not interchangeable in position in these drafts.
That 40 time definitely solidified him as a top 10. There's no doubt.
All right. So in other news, hey, let's hit the college basketball court here. Miami goes 30-0 after holding on to the win against Toledo, which I didn't type that correctly, but whatever. You get the gist of the comment. Anyway, they just keep winning. They find ways to win. And you know, I think I alluded to this one time. If you can find ways to win, even if you're not playing your greatest, you're gonna carry yourself away. You're gonna carry yourself a long way, especially in March Madness. I hope they get into March Madness.
There's no guarantee if they don't win that tournament because the NCAA selection committee would rather see, teams that are 4-12 in their conference get into than a 30-1 Miami team.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a good team.
Matt, again, I want that sucks.
They get hurt because of the non-conference, but nobody will play them. They won't play these the teams from the American Conference. A lot of these smaller, even the bottom side of the mid majors, right? Nobody's going to go play these guys and give them home and homes and all this stuff. They're not going to do that, especially with the size of the bigger leagues now, and having to get all their playing 18 conference games. They're not going to get that, and that's not their fault. Teams won't play them. I mean, they have won 7 league games, like 1 possession games. But again, as Brian said, there's something to be said for finding a way to win games. And this is a great story. I want them to be undefeated, getting into the tournament with about an 8 seed. And it's going to be a wonderful story to watch them play. I mean, we talked about it on one of my shows here last week. And yes, I understand somebody who's middle of the Big Ten, UCLA, I think was Danny might have brought up UCLA. Yeah, they'll probably beat Miami. But you can't tell me that on a neutral court, they can't potentially beat West Virginia or Oklahoma State or Auburn or some of these teams that are on the bubble.
Sure.
With almost 500 records and losing records in their conference. I'm not even saying they'll beat them. They deserve a chance to beat them, though. Mm-hmm. So if they don't get in, it would be a travesty in my mind.
And thank you, Rick, for answering the question there. So you said and I think James had a point to make about that whole situation too. The Vikings have the 3rd worst salary cap situation, need to move on from underperforming players.
Yeah. Well, and something like that is where you start to look at, Cousins or Kyler, because Arizona picks up Kyler's tab, and Cousins will be really cheap either way.
So the comment that our dear colleague Sonia put on here said that Shaheed is a $2 hoard that will go anyway for a book. And that's probably the reason why it got flagged on Facebook, because she said that. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Gotcha. I was going to say, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I think it got flagged. That's why. Let's see. Vikings are like 59 gets a cap. I think so. Even with the new salary cap NFL has put out there, they're pretty low before that. Trying to win. James over Josh Allen. Yeah. So another little thing that I noticed that we had with the NBA. I don't know if you guys watched this game, the Lakers versus Golden State when they beat them on Saturday. But JJ Redick found play in exchange with Luka during Saturday's win over Golden State. And let me tell you, it was kind of hilarious because somebody had a very good bird's eye view of the situation that went on. Mm-hmm. And it was like he pulled him off the court and and then he went over there and talked to him. He sat down, he talked to him, and like Luka was stating his case. And I guess the last thing that JJ Redick said to him bothered him extremely because he got up like he was about to go over there and choke the hell out of him. And if it wasn't for his teammate that got up, he was like, yeah, he was clapping and stuff. He was playing it off like, yeah, sit down, man. Don't even go over there and cause any trouble and stuff like that. Because he might have heard the whole conversation too, because he was sitting right next to him. So I don't remember what player that was that grabbed him. But that was kind of an interesting exchange. I don't know if anybody caught that. Anybody catch that?
I didn't see it, but
I mean, this is not about to be a return of Latrell Sprewell. So I mean, I don't think Luka had that in him. I knew Luka's tough, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, they know better. None of these guys want to swing or do anything anymore like they did back in the past. It was he was obviously upset, but I mean, we're gonna do anything.
Well, and it looked like he put his hand up to like fist bump, but JJ didn't see it and like walked away and like left him hanging, right? So, you know, if he was already mad and then you're like, oh, really? You're gonna leave me hanging too? Like, okay, cool. Like, so I do think it's being blown up more than it should, and you know, probably mostly because they're not playing particularly well. So.
And it's the Lakers, right? They're gonna
Lakers.
They're gonna take all the news and suck all the air up out of the media.
So on NHL notes, right now, coming off the Olympics. Bear with me a moment here.
We have the trade deadline this Friday for the NHL.
Yes, we do. There you go. That was one point I was going to make a job there.
That's late.
Well, it's because of
the Olympic break.
Yeah. Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was actually a freeze during the Olympics, so you couldn't do anything during the Olympic break, and so it ends up being 3 weeks behind when it normally would. That being said, it's still the same number of games towards the end of the season. So it's, even though the timeline is pushed, the amount of games didn't change. So when it comes to the percentage of the season being gone, it's about the same.
Yeah, so just to keep a heads up on what's going on with the NHL right now in the Eastern Atlantic Division, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Detroit, and Montreal are the top 4 teams there. Mm-hmm. In the Eastern Metropolitan Division, Carolina, Pittsburgh, New York, and Columbus are on there. And in the Western Central, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, and Utah. And in the Western Pacific, Vegas, Anaheim, Seattle, and Edmonton are top 4 in those divisions.
Yeah, in fact, we took down the Hurricanes, which is leading the Metro Division on Monday. So, I mean, the thing with the trade deadline is the teams that need guys, there's not a lot of those guys available. So, like for Seattle, we need someone that can put the puck in the net. Like, we play defense pretty well. Our goalies are great. They stopped, they had 35 saves against the Hurricanes, right? Like that's an insane barrage of pucks flying at you to only give up 1 score. So that end of the floor is fine. It's just, they have a really hard time putting the puck on the net. They're good at moving the puck around, but they seem like they're always looking for that extra pass rather than just pulling the trigger and launching the puck. So they need a scorer. The problem is there's not a lot of scorers available, right? So you're just like baseball. You're looking for a team that's like, hey, you know what? We're out of it. We're going to go ahead and embrace this rebuild situation and start dumping players. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot out there. So there's a few different teams that could use scorers, and there's just not scorers to be had. So Seattle, prime example, they're a team that they're probably going to get in, but if you can't score, you're not going to go super far in the playoffs.
Who was who you guys look to get to before the trade deadline? What are the Kraken looking at?
They're not. Like they are likely going to stay exactly where they are because they've been so up and down. You know, when they go on a run, they're in the wild card, or they've been as high as second in the division, and then they get cold and they fall all the way to second to last. So they're a team that you're not really a player away. So you're probably not doing anything before the trade deadline, but you're just good enough that you're not selling either. Right. So you're just kind of hovering in that range. So the roster's probably pretty well where it is. And then, you know, unfortunately, it just means you're probably not having a long playoff run, but I think you sneak in. What's happening, Jake?
All right. Transitioning from the NHL to the major leagues, they're doing the world play right now. Today's results, Detroit Tigers 2, Panama 1. They also played Dominican Republic, and they tied them 4-4. The Nationals are beating Venezuela right now 2-0. And the Seattle Mariners, because it's still spring training going on as well. The Seattle Mariners and Giants are playing later on tonight. And earlier, the Netherlands beat the Rays 11-8. And the Atlanta Braves beat Colombia 9-1. And Nicaragua beat the St. Louis Cardinals 2-1. Let's see what else we got. We also got the Houston Astros in spring play 4-2. Minnesota beat Puerto Rico 6-3. Canada beat Philly 5-3. And again, spring play, Yankees beat Boston 4-0. Mets have beaten Israel 5-2. Cincinnati has beaten Cuba 19-2. The Athletics and the Diamondbacks played. Diamondbacks were victorious there 3-1. Texas Rangers beat Brazil 13-2. Dodgers beat Mexico 7-5. United States General team beat Colorado Rockies 14-4. Great Britain, who's not beating the Colorado? Yeah, right. That's actually an exhibition game there. Great Britain and the Padres tied at 2. Italy lost to the Angels 4-3. And finally, last spring game of the day, final of the day, 4-1 Cubs beat the Brewers. What is your take? Now I ask Keith this because he's generally our baseball guy. What do you think about these games that they're having during spring training with the international teams?
WBC. I love the WBC, and every 4 years it comes around. There's no other time to play it than now. So again, it takes away a couple of weeks. Takes these guys away from spring training for a couple of weeks, but they're still going to be working out. It's not going to be a huge deal. Teams worry about guys getting hurt. If guys are going to get hurt, they're going to get hurt. And I don't know where I made that. I made that prediction last year. How'd that work?
Yeah, that was last year, Jay. Yeah.
But I think this is all. I love international competitions. I love guys who want to go play for their country. And just Bryce Harper had a great comment the other day about the chance to go play for his country. And I just love it. And you missed, by the way, in the scores, you missed Pat. Was it Pat Murphy? Who's the manager of the Brewers? Murphy. I think it's Pat Murphy. Just went off on his team after they lost to Britain yesterday because Britain's not that good. Remember the uniforms they had last year where the letters were falling off the jerseys for the Great Britain team? Was kind of embarrassing. But they've gotten better. The real games start tomorrow. The USA is the heavy betting favorite, followed by Japan, obviously. And then I think the Dominican and Venezuela are going to be right behind them. And I think Dominican and Venezuela are in the same pool, too. So it's going to be very interesting to see which one of those comes out of there. USA, Japan should come out of their pools easily. And this will be a lot of fun. And you can catch all these games. If you want to stay up late and watch games, you can watch these games from like morning till night almost on FS1 and FS2 and wherever else they're being played. So it's a lot of fun for me because I hate exhibition baseball, quite frankly. I can't think of anything worse than staying up to watch, guys that were going to be playing in Double-A in 2 weeks. So,
see, that's what's nice about being on the West Coast. It's all early.
Yes, I get it. But now we get to watch some meaningful baseball, and there's a lot. I mean, these teams are made up.
So you guys mentioned the Netherlands. I know they're going to be without a player that's not going to be there for be in baseball for 162 games. Got suspended for PED usage.
Is he going to be allowed to play? I wonder. I don't know. I haven't read whether he'll be allowed to play or not. So that'll be interesting.
There is a saving grace to spring training, though. You are right. So there's going to be a bunch of these guys that are playing, double and triple A. But you do get to take a look at some prospects you otherwise probably wouldn't have seen. So, like for the Mariners, they got this kid Ryan Sloan. He's 20, right, pitcher, and he's topping out at 98.9 miles an hour. That's encouraging. Like and he dispatched the Rangers with 12 pitches, right? Like he played 1 inning and rolled right through them. So I mean, those are the things that you're okay. Like
there are some interesting things. Watching guys coming back from injury to see how they're, as a Yankee fan, it's nice to see what our pitchers are doing. Garrett Cole rehabbing and how Volpe's coming along and whatnot. Yes, there's some good things, but I just can't watch these games. I just can't do it. It's just
I wouldn't stay up all night for it.
No. Well, most of them are played during the day anyway, at least now. And I did just see that Jackson why do I always call him Jackson? Jerkson Profar will not be allowed to play in the WBC. So he is gone from the Netherlands as well as the Atlanta Braves. His brother's on that team too, as well, by the way.
Yeah, tonight, Chinese Taipei plays Australia at 10 p.m. So if anybody wants to catch that,
that's the first real game. Then I thought that might be because that might be tomorrow, though, right? What time is it?
Well, yeah, Australia. Yeah, they play on a whole different time zone because they also play Chesney tomorrow at the same time. So
yeah, they're a few hours ahead of us.
Yeah, I'd say a few, like a day,
exactly,
almost a day. 12 hours. Yeah. All right, so this is going to conclude the rest of the day. I don't know what happened to Keith there. There's Keith. Okay, what happened to? I don't know what happened to.
Yeah, he said his audio was bad. And his mic was spiking, so I don't know what was going on his end.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to conclude the show anyway. So glad to have you guys on to talk sports again, like every Wednesday. Didn't have a lot of the unprofessional things, but we did have a little bit of that thanks to Sonia and her comment about Shahid and Holtz. But anyway.
Somebody always says we're not unprofessional enough. I like it.
Yeah. And thank you there, Sonia, for that. And they got 600. She got 600 subscribers, so that's amazing.
Awesome.
So same time, same bat channel next week, 6 o'clock. You can catch this re-air pretty soon.
Someday.
Probably tomorrow. I got my schedule in front of me. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah. And then join Sonia. She wants to make sure we put her thing out at 9. So, yeah. All right, everybody. You have a very good rest of your evening, and we will catch you later.
Appreciate it, Jake.
Day.